Furniture Row.
Now at 10, a former Carthage Parks and Rec director is accused of stealing more than $100,000 from the golf course. Plus, see the reaction of a local veteran as he receives the gift of a new home, and how you can help local food banks and the people they serve.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A former Carthage City employee is out on bond tonight facing charges of stealing and money laundering. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Court documents filed today in Jasper County Court revealed that Mark Peterson is accused of taking more than $142,000 from the Carthage golf course. An independent accounting firm completed a forensic audit into the missing money. Court documents state the money should have been deposited into city bank accounts by Peterson, but no documentation was provided. Peterson, the former director of Carthage Parks and Recreation, resigned from the city in November of 2022. Records state that money was taken between January of 2020 and December of 2022. Just last month, he was awarded the PGA Golf Professional of the Year from the Midwest PGA chapter. Authorities have released the name of a West Mineral, Kansas woman killed today in a 3-vehicle crash on State Highway 7. Happened a quarter of a mile north of the intersection of Highway 7 and 530 Avenue, north of Cherokee. Authorities say a truck towing a camper crossed the center lane and hit an SUV head-on. Then that SUV in the middle of the highway was hit by a semi. The driver of the SUV, 66-year-old Melinda Burbage, was killed. The driver and passenger of the truck were both airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries, and the driver of the semi was not hurt. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, still pretty much a mild day for us today, but cooler than what we've seen all week. But on the other hand, still above our average high of 58. 62 is where we topped out for a high. 45 is where we started. Record high on this date is 82, set back in 2016. We need some rain. We got some rain in the forecast, which is great news. It's just not really out there right now. You may get a sprinkle, maybe a quick shower tonight. In general, we look pretty good. Temperatures staying up, mainly into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees, 59 in Lamar, 58 in Nevada. Oswego sitting at 60, Miami at 63. Southerly winds will keep our temperatures up as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight, but we have a cold front that's going to roll in by early tomorrow morning. All right, look at the clouds. Couple little sprinkles. A big chunk of that's not reaching the ground, but this wave's going to continue to work through. Stronger storm system behind it. We're going to be talking about that here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. A veteran originally from Oklahoma is planting himself in Golden City, Missouri after receiving a home mortgage-free. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
I knew what was going on, but it was still kind of sometimes I get a little uneasy when I get awarded or get any accolades for my military service, like most Marines do. So, you know, I know you guys worked really hard on all this, so, you know what I mean? I came in and, you know, with a thankfulness and praise.
That is Marine Corps veteran David Weibel's initial reaction to his new home in Golden City, Missouri. A warm welcome awaited Sergeant Weibel as representatives from the local, state, and federal level all gathered to congratulate him.
They don't demand a lot, and so when we can give something like this to one of them or a couple of them, it doesn't matter, that I think it's a good thing.
Sergeant Weibel spent 7 years in the Marine Corps before medically retiring in June of 2014. During that time, he was awarded many times, including the NAVCOM V Medal and the Purple Heart. And now, he's been awarded a house.
Oh, wow. Oh wow, this is beautiful. I'm still in shock, and so I'm not like you know what I mean? So I'm still like taking some time to process it, and you know, so I'm kind of like, you know, never show my full deck of cards right off the first bat, you know, like I have that poker face on a little bit, but yeah, I'm sure like, you know, within the next few days, I'm going to be soaking it in and all that.
It may take some getting used to, but Sergeant Weibel now has a home and community to call his own. Reporting in Golden City, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
That home was provided by a collaboration between Wells Fargo and Military Warriors Support Foundation. Hey, you can help feed the 4 states. The annual KOAM TV Fox 14 Feed the 4 States campaign is underway. It's your opportunity to make a monetary pledge. It'll go to local food banks, helping area families in need. It's very simple. All you have to do is go to KOAMnewsnow.com or get there through this QR code. The Feed the 4 States campaign runs through December 31st. And we want to thank all of you who phoned in to donate during earlier newscasts today here on KOAM and on Fox 14. The Wesley House in Pittsburgh is one of the organizations partnering with our Feed the 4 States campaign to get food on tables. The Wesley House is the largest food pantry in Crawford County, serving 1 out of 5 residents.
We have noticed an increase throughout the entire year as food prices have increased, gas prices have increased. It's just put more of a strain on families, as well as the SNAP benefits being lessened after the pandemic.
The Wesley House is just one of the food pantries helped by your donation. Souls Harbor has fed and sheltered homeless men, women, and children in the Joplin area since 1982. And the shelter knows firsthand how much difference one person can make for so many others.
Okay. So what we really need the most is non-perishables, anything that can go on the shelf that they can carry out with them. So any kind of canned meats, any kind of soups, vegetables, anything like that is what we really need the most.
It's not just donations. Souls Harbor always needs the help of enthusiastic volunteers as well. Feed the 4 States also works with Crosslines Food Pantry in Joplin. They've been helping the hungry in the Joplin, Webb City, and Carl Junction communities for the last 40 years. However, it's been hard for them to keep up with demand.
Yeah, I mean, Crosslines in the last 40 plus years is a testament to the fact that every time it looked like, I just don't know how next year is going to happen, the community responded. And all of this exists because the community has just continued to respond over and over again. And so we've come to trust in that.
You can find a list of food pantries we support in our area. Also, how you can donate to the Feed the 4 States campaign. Again, you just go to KOAMnewsnow.com. A lot of businesses help fill area pantries, but one local grocery chain is making it easier for customers to donate. G&W stores across the 4 states are donating through their Hometown Helpers program. Customers can buy items to be donated directly to the pantry in their communities.
I hope they see that we're here to help, that we want to be part of the community, and that we want for our community to succeed, and we want to play a part in that.
28 locations worked with their local food pantries to understand exactly what items are needed. Coming up, the PSU Gorillas respond to some national criticism as they roll into the playoffs. John's going to have the latest in sports. Plus, if you hear bells ringing, well, chances are it's the Salvation Army kicking off its Red Kettle season. Nonprofit organizations in Joplin today got to take part in a leadership summit. Forbes hosted the event to help nonprofits reach their goals. Topics discussed covered IRS tax credit opportunities, workforce retention, board governance, fundraising, and more. Speaking of fundraising, the Jasper Newton County Salvation Army rang in its Red Kettle season with a fun little event in Joplin this evening. Featured hot cocoa and chili and a tree lighting. Salvation Army is also recognizing last year's bell ringers and helping anyone who wants to get signed up to ring the bells this year. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign started all the way back in 1891. Yeah, I barely remember. For many, the colder temperatures and the shorter days come with seasonal affective disorder. About 5% of adults in the U.S. experience SAD, SAD, but there are ways to cope with it, and decorating for the holidays might be one of them. Jennifer Berry, Assistant Director of Outpatient Services at Ozark Center Hope Spring, emphasizes that as a mental health professional, she can't say Christmas lights can treat or prevent seasonal affective disorder, but they can help some.
seasonal affective disorder. Christmas lights fit perfectly into that timeline. But more importantly is the aspect of getting out and engaging in an activity that brings you joy.
Usually around this time of the year, it gets pretty bad. Just anything that we can do to lift our spirits up here. Seasonal depression is hard to explain to other people, because if you don't have it, you don't understand.
You can learn about SAD symptoms and treatments at our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A little later, high school basketball season gets ready to heat up. John's going to have more for us in sports.
Plus, our temperatures staying mild for the next couple days, and then big changes. We're going to look at that coming up next.
Big R's, Joplin.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a cloudy day for us today, but overall temperature is still pretty good as we went into the lower 60s for afternoon highs. The clouds are going to stick around as we go through tonight, but a nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, and it looks pretty good. We've had some sprinkles kind of rotate through, very light, not a big deal. All right, let's go outside. Temperature 60 in Cassville, Grand Lake 63, Pittsburgh is sitting at 57, Carthage at 60, Neodesha checking in at 58 degrees. But the winds of what really kept our temperatures up as we've gone through the past 24 hours or so. Now, a cold front rolls through in the morning, so behind the front, we're going to have gusty northerly winds, and then they will start to die down as we get into tomorrow evening. So it's not going to be as windy as we go through the weekend. All right, we got the clouds. Have a few little sprinkles. A whole bunch of these aren't really reaching the ground, but a few little sprinkles pushing through. Don't be surprised if you're out driving around, you get a couple drops on your windshield. But this wave just doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, so it's kind of pushing through. Much stronger wave. Look at this spin off the coast of California. So here's San Fran, here's LA. That system will start to affect us as we go into Sunday. Let me show you. We're looking at the upper levels. So here comes the rain Sunday. Here's the main system, pushes in Monday into Tuesday, but then it gets interesting. It kind of sits across the northern parts of the U.S., good chunk of next week, and look at this. It pulls in all this cold Canadian air just in time for Thanksgiving. So then you have the cold air in place, and here comes another wave, which is going to work in by next weekend. So it's going to get a little interesting as we get into next week. All right, so let's jump into the weekend. Saturday looks good. Here comes the rain, especially Sunday afternoon, showers, even some thunderstorms. Eastern Oklahoma may even get some severe weather. All right, showers, thunderstorms into Monday morning, then just showers on Monday, lasting into Tuesday morning. This system exits. It's going to be chilly by the time we head into Thanksgiving, but then as we go into Friday, this is Black Friday. Look at this, possible rain-snow mix. So we got a lot to watch as we go through next week. Plus rainfall amounts with the system Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I think a good chunk of us will get a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, which would be great. Now, until all this occurs, we look okay. We're going to start the day on Friday with clouds. By noon, we get the sunshine, temperatures upper 50s, and then by the time we get into the afternoon, I think most of you, 59 Stockton, 62 in Anderson, Pittsburgh, up to about 59 degrees. So here's your day planner, 55 to start, 60 by noon, 61 by 4. We'll shoot for a high temp of 62 during the afternoon. 63 Saturday. If you got to do anything outside, Saturday is the day to do it. Rain sets in on Monday. Showers and thunderstorms into Monday, or Sunday, the rain sets in, showers and thunderstorms into Monday. Showers Tuesday, chilly Thanksgiving, and then could get a little messy by Black Friday, and of course, a lot of people traveling next week, so we need to watch it.
Yeah, the roads could be slick or
at least wet.
At least wet, yeah. You bet. Thanks, John. So ahead, a piece of baseball history in Humboldt, Kansas is restored. And 2 jamborees start the high school basketball season in the area. John Dales has those stories and a lot more. It's coming up next.
Are you or a family member in need of details?
The playoffs are here for Pittsburgh State football. The Gorillas begin the 2023 postseason against the very same team they played in the first round last year, UIndy. And they're hoping for their defense to play just as well as it did in the game last year and last week.
A huge emphasis we put in practice throughout the week is getting takeaways, getting the ball back, getting more possessions for our offense. And obviously, in the Missouri Western game, we didn't do that at all, and it showed. And so we've put a huge emphasis on that this week, last week, and from here on out, we're gonna continue to get the ball back for our offense.
UIndy is a really good football team. They're a better football team than what we played a year ago in round one. They have a really good quarterback, very balanced offense, couple receivers that they get the ball in their hands, and those guys are lightning quick.
Now, even though the Gorillas beat UIndy 35-0 a year ago, they say they're not taking them lightly, and the Greyhounds have a new quarterback from last year. As for PSU's quarterback situation, after missing last week with an injury, Chad Dodson expected to be full go on Saturday, according to Coach Wright. Now to college volleyball. Missouri Southern pulls off a huge upset in the first round of the MIAA tournament today, knocking off the second seed in the conference, Central Oklahoma, 3-1. It's the first time all year the Lions beat the Broncos. They survive in advance to face Nebraska Kearney tomorrow at 5. High school basketball players getting their first taste of real action tonight in Southwest Missouri, with Webb City and Neosho each hosting jamborees. Neosho hosting a boys hoops jamboree, first game of the night. Wildcats taking on McDonald County, and Canton Smith gets things started, going hard to the hoop and converting the and one. A little bit later, Wildcats making some noise again. Tyrone Harris frees up space with a step back move and a jumper. After a near steal on their next possession, Wildcats nearly throw the ball away, but Brody Arthur nails a three-pointer from the top of the key. Neosho is rolling early in this one. Then Cale Carlin for McDonald County goes strong to the hoop, uses the left hand for a reverse layup. Pretty finish. And the Mustangs finish game one strong. Now over to game two. McDonald County still on the court, facing Webb City. Eli Pace for the Cardinals starts things out with a nice move to the hoop, going up and under with the layup. He's not finished. A couple minutes later, Cardinals with possession of the basketball again, and Pace again to the hoop, this time bucket and the foul. Webb City in control early as Baron Duda hits the corner jumper for three. Later on, same period, Duda this time taking the ball away on the defensive end, trying to go coast to coast, but nice stop for the Mustang defense, taking it away right before getting to the hoop. McDonald County, the soonest of the three teams that played tonight to start its season. The Mustangs host Joplin on Tuesday. Webb City, meanwhile, hosting a girls basketball jamboree. Cardinals taking on the Aurora Hound Dogs in the first game of the night. Hound Dogs looking to start hot. Pass it out to Kylie Cole. She nails a three-point jumper. And the Hound Dogs do start out pretty hot, but in the second half, Webb City starts to find a little bit of a groove. Mallory Stanley passes to one of the Maxwell triplets inside with the easy lay-in. Then Webb on a roll. Whitley Key bangs that one in for three. That wraps up the first game for the Cardinals. On to the second. Webb City taking on Carl Junction, and Abby Sargent passes out to Kira Long. She nails the three-point jumper. Competitive game between these two COC rivals. If the first three wasn't enough, how about we try another? Mia Robbins gets 3 points there. Bulldogs with possession later. Anna Birch into Kylie Scott. She gets two, and the chance for another with the bucket. Back and forth matchup between those two to end things. Now, third and final match for Webb tonight. They wrap things up with a game against Neosho, and the Wildcats came out strong. Nice pass for a clean score and a three-pointer. They were on a roll all night. Webb City with a little bit of life, though. Abby Burns' shot bounces off the rim, but Kira Long rebounds and puts it down for two at the buzzer. And then Neosho, not to be outdone, not backing down. They bust in another three. Neosho dominant all game, and that wraps up the third game tonight. Kansas organizers get together today to restore the sign that pays homage to former MLB pitcher Walter Johnson. Residents of Humboldt and even the entire Allen County Community College baseball team arrive on the scene to witness the ribbon cuttings of the new sign. Now, the event includes a written speech from Hank Thomas, who is Walter Johnson's biographer and just so happens to be his grandson.
We are celebrating the installation of the Humboldt Thunderbolt sign in Humboldt, and this is really personal to me and my family because my grandfather over a decade ago put this up to gain traction and tourism to the area, and it's been sitting and rotting for the last several years. He died about 10 years ago, so I was really happy to get it repaired and back up into shape. Walter Johnson was one of the inaugural Hall of Fame players, along with somebody like Babe Ruth. I mean, this guy is a big deal, and I think we can grow a lot of tourism just by simply celebrating him and educating our youth about how important he was to the game of baseball.
Busy day in sports today. One of my favorite things from today was Pitt State football. We talked about it in the 6 o'clock show. They did their entire press conference today with an article taped to the podium saying they're on upset watch, using that to fuel themselves.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see who's saying that come next week.
We will.
We'll be right back.
Some things in life are so remote.
A 4-state hero.
Joplin's Spiva Park is now officially in the Christmas spirit. Volunteers came out today to help set up the lights and decorations. Spiva looking spiffy. If you want to check them out, well, you can. Of course, they'll be there through the season. You'll find Spiva Park at the corner of 4th Street and Main in Joplin. It's always beautiful there, and
it is.
More so during the holiday season. The weather feeling more like Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, we're still going to have a couple nice days. 62 tomorrow, 63 on Saturday. So if you want to get out this weekend, that's the day to do it. Then it gets gloomy, rainy, showers and thunderstorms setting in on Sunday.
Final sports note.
Big day of high school football tomorrow. 2 games in our area. Colgan plays for a shot at a state title. If they win, they go to the state championship. Webb City, if it wins, goes to the state semifinals.
Yeah, some big games. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Captioning on KOAM.